The Knicks have announced who their jersey patch sponsor will be, and also bettors do not seem to be high on the New York Knicks this upcoming season, and we're going to talk about all of that on Knicks Digest. So welcome back, guys. My name is Chris, but first things first, if we look at this little graphic right here, you'll see that around 80% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel right now who are watching the videos. If you guys could just hit that subscribe button, it means the absolute most to us at Knicks Digest. All of us, me, Troy, Darielle, all of us, it just means the absolute world. So please, please, please subscribe to the video if you're liking the content that we have. Let us know down below if you want to see anything different. But for now, that's all I got for you. Let's jump right into the video. I know why you guys are here. You don't need me to talk about this for the whole time. So let's jump in. The Knicks have announced that the Vegas Sphere will be their sponsor on the little jersey patch thing. And this is very interesting news, and I'm going to tell you guys why. When I first saw this, I instantly thought, this is the most James Dolan thing of all time. And if you don't know what I mean by that, in case you didn't know, do you guys know who owns the Vegas Sphere? It's James Dolan. He owns it. So something that James Dolan owns, something that he created, is now being the on-jersey sponsor of the New York Knicks, which is the most James Dolan, I'm a billionaire, I do what I want, and I'm going to make money off both my corporations together thing of all time. I honestly find it kind of funny, but what I don't find funny is the fact that what this means is that despite the fact that James Dolan has sort of taken a little bit of a back seat to the Knicks because of this sphere, it also means that he's not going to go and sell the Knicks because he's created the Vegas Sphere. That was sort of a thought that maybe since Dolan's opening up the Sphere, since it's in Las Vegas and it's trying to become the main event hall in things of Vegas, and that means everything from concerts to basketball games that are being played in Vegas. The UFC has already talked about that they will be going to the Vegas Sphere next year. A bunch of different events will be happening at this Sphere, and this is what Dolan is focused on. It is the way for him to make the most money as of right now, which is one of the reasons why it's been promoted so heavily, and one of the reasons why the most famous team on the East Coast of basketball is going to be representing it. Also, it's because James Dolan owns both, and then he just makes money both ways. And that's how it goes. That's James Dolan for you. But it does really mean that we will not see James Dolan sell the team anytime soon, if you ask me. But let's take a little look at it, because, I mean, the saving grace is that it is very nice to look at. It's honestly a very, very clean, super nice-looking just sponsorship patch. It's not ugly. Some of them are just not great. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember this. This was from, like, the first year that the NBA did the jersey patch sponsors. The Los Angeles Clippers sponsor was Bumble. Yes, the dating app Bumble. And it just, like, it was a lot, guys. I mean, it was all yellow on the blue jersey. It didn't look good. It was not aesthetically pleasing. It's also, like, it just felt like the Clippers to be representing, like, the dating app that isn't Tinder. But really, that's enough talk about sponsorship and jerseys. This is not a sports management class, though that was my college major, in case anyone's randomly interested in my life. Let's jump into the more fun topic of the day. And that is that bettors are not high on the Knicks. So really not the most fun video, if you ask me, if this is the most fun topic. But what I have to say here is that I think bettors will be completely wrong about this, but it was reported by Brian Windhorst that in casinos, the number one thing in basketball being bet on is that the Knicks will be going under the 45.5 wins mark for their over-under. Let's just take a look at this. To put it in Brian Windhorst's own words, the bettors are not high on the Knicks. The Knicks under is most heavily bet on under in the casinos right now, which Tim Bontemps said he thinks is crazy. And Windhorst said the Knicks over is one of the best values you can get at 45.5. And Bontemps said that he would tell people to bet the Knicks over. He feels really strongly about the Knicks going over. First of all, I love getting love from reporters like Brian Windhorst and Tim Bontemps, who, maybe for all the Brian Windhorst pro-LeBron stuff, some people are not going to love, especially us Knicks fans, because a lot of us do not like LeBron James. If you could see, I have a poster of the man, so you know where I stand. But really, these guys are very analytical. They are they're not biased, really. They're not going to be biased towards the Knicks in any way. They don't have bias held against the Knicks in either direction. So it is cool to see reporters being very honest that they think the Knicks are going to go over 45.5 wins. And if you ask me, I think the Knicks are totally going to go over that. And I'm not saying the Knicks are going to win like 55 games. I don't think they're going to win 50. But I certainly don't think they're going to have a 44-win season. If the Knicks go 44-38, it's not a bad season by any means. That's a playoff team. But I would like to see the Knicks have more improvement from last year. Again, this is a young Knicks team that is just growing into themselves. Obviously, Julius Randle's there. He's 29. He's going to be 29 going into this season. And around the month, he turns 29. Maybe a little less now. It's somewhere in November. And then you got guys like R.J. Barrett and Jalen Brunson who are 25, 23. You got Quentin Grimes, who's young. Emmanuel Quickley's young. Mitchell Robinson's only 25. The only guys over 25 on the Knicks in the Knicks rotation, it's Julius Randle, Josh Hart, and Jalen Brunson. That's it. The Knicks are a young team. And there's no reason for the Knicks to have to win now, unless obviously this Joel Embiid stuff pans out. But as of right now, that is really... The Knicks should be improving, is what I should be saying. The Knicks should be improving. They should not be stagnant. They should not be regressing. They are only growing into themselves more. They are not an old team where it's like, oh, can they still hold on? That's not the case. That is not the case about the Knicks at all. That is the opposite. The Knicks should only be improving as time goes on throughout these next few years. So I think over 45.5 is a great bet. If any of you guys are sports bettors out there, I'm not going to tell you what to bet on. I'm not going to advocate on what to bet on. I will say myself that I am a sports bettor. I do place bets, but that does not mean that I know what I'm talking about. So don't take my word for it. You don't have to take Tim Bontemps' word for it. But I really do think the Knicks are going to go over 45.5 wins this year. I think we'll see more improvement. I'm expecting the Knicks to be in the top 4 of the Eastern Conference this year. Not just make the second round. I think they'll be in the top 4 seeding and then hopefully also make the second round again. And who really knows how the seeding is going to play out? Some teams might relax in the regular season a little bit. Some teams might go way hard and flame out early. It's super unclear what's going to happen in the East. The only thing that we can sort of expect is that it's going to be pretty shocking if the Bucks and the Celtics are not the first and second seed. In whichever order, who knows? That's really the question. Who's the first seed, the Bucks or the Celtics? And the other one is the second. And then after that, it's sort of wild. I mean, we could see the 76ers, but that depends on Joel Embiid. And we could see the Cavs, but that depends on their development and if they can really work with 2 non-shooters in the front court. Now that they have Max Strus, as long as that contract pans out, it should make things easier. Maybe the Cavs will once again finish higher than the Knicks. Does not mean the Knicks cannot beat them in the playoffs like they did last year. But really, what we're seeing is that bettors are not high on the Knicks this year. And if you know some stuff about sports betting, you'll know that the public never wins or very rarely wins. So if everyone seems to be on the Knicks under, that might mean take a look at the over. And again, I'm not going to tell you what to bet on, so don't just bet on don't take my word for it and then place a bet and then blame me. You can blame me if you want. I don't really care. But, you know, I don't want to advocate for betting on, like, specific teams and then be way off and then have people coming at me for losing the money. I'm not really going to say if I'm going to bet on this or not, mainly because I don't know if I am, but I will tell you guys that for sure, I think the Knicks are going to go over 45.5 wins. I think that is a good benchmark for them. I want to see consistent improvement. A 46-36 year by the Knicks this year in an Eastern Conference that's pretty tough is a good year. 48 wins is even better. I don't think they're going to hit 50. I don't think they're a 50-win team yet. And I think it depends on what happens, how the Eastern Conference shakes out with the James Harden and Joel Embiid stuff, because regardless, it's going to weaken the Philadelphia 76ers, a division rival, regardless of where James Harden and Joel Embiid end up. So really, the Knicks are in a position where they could be anywhere from a 6th seed to like a 3 seed. I don't think they'll be in the play, and I think they're way too good for that. And I don't think they'll beat the Celtics or the Bucks, who usually show up and show out in the regular season. And that is all that we have time for today, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to like and subscribe, as I said earlier. We're not going to do a whole thing on that. I already talked about that once. I don't have to bash it into you guys, but please do subscribe to the channel. It means the world to us. We just hit 2,000 subscribers. We're only going up from here. Knicks Digest to the moon. You don't want to miss out. We're going to do so much content. Dario and I dropped the duos. We're going to drop another one. We actually dropped it for our 100th video, in case anyone was curious. Some little trivia for you guys. We're going to get trios with Troy going. We're going to get duos, me and Troy. We're going to get duos with Darielle and Troy if he just can't stand me, which I could understand. But seriously, guys, make sure to like and subscribe to this video. Have a great day, and remember, go Knicks.